Alright, welcome to Geometry 2-1.2. We're looking at transversals now. And first let's start with just a simple definition. So a transversal, I label it in red, T, is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines. And so line L and line M are two in this case, coplanar lines, and T is intersecting them. So that's it again. It's a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines. There's all types of angles that are formed when this happens, when these lines intersect, and there's going to be relationships between them. And before we can get into those relationships and their definitions, we kind of need to understand what is the exterior and what is the interior. And so just starting with exterior is the whole area outside here. So this, all the way over here, all this. This is all the exterior. So, and I know my lines get cut off here, but exterior, and I'll write that down. So this is the exterior. This is all the exterior around here too. Interior. And it might be easier if these lines went out a little bit further so you could really see where the cutoff is. So this actually is not exterior. The other thing that we're looking at is the interior. So we'll use this color. So interior is actually going to be all this in here, as well as in here. Be careful not to draw too much on my lines. But this is all the interior. Now I'm not going to write interior over here, but this is the interior, right? So you have exterior on the outside of your two coplanar lines, and then interior is within them, and that's going to help us to establish a lot of our definitions. And so let's move forward to a few definitions. Now I'm going to have to try to find some space here to get this all down. But first, let's start with alternate interior angles. So first, I think I'm going to try to delete some of this stuff. I don't know how far it's going to let me go. Yeah, it's not going to. Well, let me delete this. So when we're looking at alternate interior, so you have to forgive them to leave some of this stuff out here. Interior. So we're definitely looking at the interior. So alternate interior. And then I'll just do this, angles. All right, so first of all, we know that we're looking at the inside because it's the interior. So, and what does alternate mean? Alternate means that they're non-adjacent, so they're not going to be connected to each other, or adjacent to each other, like these two angles are adjacent, or these two angles are adjacent, and they lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So, we could say, and I'll label these in red, or I'll do it actually purple. Angle 4, it needs to be interior but alternating. So angle 6 would be its alternating angle. You can probably guess. Angle 3, its alternate interior angle, is angle 5. So those are the two pairs of alternate interior angles. Let's move on to something new. Let's look at same side. Same side interior angles. That's fine. Okay, so same side interior angles are they're interior angles, but they're on the same side of the transversal. So that means this is one side of the transversal. Again, T is my transversal, or this is. So just to label them, and I'll use orange here. You could say angle 4. Angle 4, its same side interior angle is angle 5, or for angle 3, it would be angle 6. So those are the same side interior angles. So again, they're interior and on the same side of the transversal. Let's look at another one, another pair here. So we could look at corresponding angles. This is going to be our big list. Corresponding. No, let's do this again, angles. They lie on the same side of the transversal and they're in corresponding positions. So what that means is, I'll use blue. So angle 1, for example, notice these aren't interior or exterior, it's just corresponding. So it needs to be on one side of the transversal, and its corresponding position of angle 1 would be angle 5. So that's a corresponding angle. Can you guess what angle 4 would be? Angle 4 would be with angle 8. And on the other side, again, you'd have 2 and 6, or you could have 3 and 7. So those are all your corresponding angles. 4 sets there. And lastly, but not least, we have alternate again, but this time exterior. Exterior angles. So looking at these, and I'll do this in pink, we're looking at the exterior now. So if we start with angle 1, let's say again, right? What is an alternate exterior angle? So it needs to be on the exterior and alternate, again, on the other side of the transversal. And the other pair that we would have would be, if we're looking at angle 2, okay, we need to be on the exterior and alternate on the other side of the transversal, so angle 8. So you're going to get familiar with all these definitions. I know that we've kind of rushed through all those 4, but go ahead again. In your book, you're going to read through pages 141, the bottom there, and then 142, and it's going to have a similar problem here. Go ahead and take a look at that and then answer the questions in the workbook. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.